This is Jarrod Horak for the runawayhorse.com, and this is my second handicapping video this week for Saturday, August 21st, 2021. I just did the Grade 1 Alabama from Saratoga. In this video, I'm going to do the Grade 1 Pacific Classic from Del Mar. And if you're interested in my full cards from Del Mar, head on over to the runawayhorse.com on my sales page. You can find my full cards from Del Mar each day. It's Pacific Classic week. They're going to be running Thursday through Sunday this week. You can buy my individual full cards, weekly packages, and weekend packages, and that's all available on the runawayhorse.com on the sales page. And for Pacific Classic Day, they're running 11 races at Del Mar, multiple stakes races, very good card, and that will be available Friday night to purchase for that Saturday full card at the runawayhorse.com on my sales page. If you're interested in free selections, I offer multiple free selections. I have some on the runawayhorse.com, on the official Del Mar website, and then at horseracing.nation.com on my Best Bets blog. And I'll provide links in the description in this video to all of those free selections. Now let's jump into this video, and this is for Saturday, August 21st, 2021, the 10th race from Del Mar, the Grade 1 Pacific Classic for 3-year-olds and up, $1 million purse, 1.25 miles on the main track, and a scheduled post time of 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. In this 10th race, number 1 is Tripoli for trainer John Sadler, and they've moved this one to the main track in his last couple. He won an entry-level allowance race on the turf course at Santa Anita on May 1st, moved him over to the main track on June 19th, optional claiming 2 other than from the inside post in that 4-horse field. He stalked, he won that one. They stepped him up from optional claiming company into the Grade 2 San Diego at 1 1/16, the local prep race for this. And on that July 17th race, that day from post 8 in an 8-horse field, he rallied to finish second, beating a half length at 9-to-1 odds. So he's one that's improving. He definitely likes the main track. Now we're going to find out how good he is. He's stepping up to face better company in his 3rd start after a layoff in his longest and toughest career test. We'll see if he's up to the task. The 2, Tizamagician. He's one that's actually cutting back in distance. His last 3 races were at 1.5 miles, and they were all graded stakes races. The Grade 3 Tokyo City on April 18th. He stalked from second and ran off the screen to win by 9 lengths. Flavien Prat rode him there, and he rode in his next 2 starts in the Grade 2 Brooklyn, Lone Rock, excellent East Coast long distance performer. That one ran away to win by 11, and Tizamagician finished second. And then Tizamagician shipped back to Southern California for the Grade 2 Cougar, the Grade 3 Cougar, the second at Del Mar at 1.5 miles on July 18th on the main track. And he stalked the pace from second and edged clear, and he won by 2.25 lengths. Now, if you look at the field here, it doesn't seem to be, there doesn't seem to be a lot of early speed in here. So I would expect Flavien Prat may try to get this one out to the front for trainer Richard Mandella. And he's won 2 times at Del Mar. And I don't know, the distance should not be a problem, obviously, because he's done so well at 1.5 miles. Now, he did run in the 1.25 mile Santa Anita handicap, and he chased from second, and he finished 5th earlier this year. So but that last effort was good over the track. Cutting back, if he can control the pace, his combination of early speed and stamina, he could be interesting if he can get out there and slow things down. Number 3 is Dr. Post for trainer Todd Pletcher. This one is coming in from Monmouth Park. In the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup last time out, 1.1 miles on July 17th, he rallied from 5th place to win by 1.25 lengths. He was adding blinkers that day. That was a nice effort. He earned a strong late pace rating. So now he's going to run past 1.1 miles for the first time. He's one that I've always liked. I picked him in the Grade 1 Belmont in 2020. He was almost 8-1. Tiz the Law won that one, and Dr. Post did rally to finish second. I had the exacta in that one. In the Grade 1 Haskell, Authentic won by a nose over New York Traffic, and then Dr. Post was an even 3rd. And then in the Jim Dandy, he was the beaten favorite. He didn't run well. They laid him off, brought him back in the Grade 3 Westchester, a 1-turn mile. He won that one at Belmont, and then he was off the board in the Met Mile, and then he bounced back in the Monmouth Cup with the addition of blinkers. So he is going to lose Lasix, but he did run without Lasix in the Westchester just fine. But the extra distance, better company here. We'll see if he can step up and compete with these. That last race was encouraging, and Joao Rosario rides back. The 4 Royal Ship for trainer Richard Mandella. This one has good, he's really versatile. He has good tactical speed. He can come from a little further back if he needs to. In the Grade 2 Californian this year, he stalked from second. He battled in the stretch with Country Grammar, and he outfinished that one by a neck, and it was more than 9 lengths back to show finisher Independence Hall. In the Gold Cup at Santa Anita on May 31st, it was Country Grammar and Royal Ship again dominating, and this time Country Grammar held on by a head. Royal Ship was well clear of third place finisher Express Train. Express Train came back in the Grade 2 San Diego, and he turned the tables on Royal Ship, and Royal Ship was the beaten favorite that day. But Royal Ship needed that race most likely because he was using it as a prep for this. And he seems to do better in these longer races. A mile and an eighth in the Californian, he was running well at the end, earning a strong late pace rating, and he was in the hunt throughout. In the Gold Cup, he stalked, he surged, and he hung in there all the way to the end at this 1.25 mile distance against Grade 1 company. And then I said last time, 1.16 mile, too short. Prep race for this, second off the layoff, back in Grade 1 company. He could easily move forward for Mandela. Mike Smith always rides him, and he's going to stay aboard. The 5 Express Train, he's having a good year, and he likes Del Mar. 4 starts with 3 wins and a second at Del Mar. He won the San Diego last time. He won the Grade 2 San Pasquale at Santa Anita at 1 1/8 miles earlier this year. He was second, beaten a half length in the Grade 1 Big Cap at 1.25 miles in March. But that day he stalked, he led, he pulled clear, and then he ended up missing by a half length. Idle ran him down. So that was a little bit concerning there, that maybe that's not a good distance for him. Then in the Oaklawn Handicap, he finished an even third as the beaten favorite. The Gold Cup, he moved back to California, and in that Gold Cup, he did not have a great start from the outside post. He raced wide. He rallied to finish an even third, well behind Royal Ship that day. And then, as I said, he turned the tables on Royal Ship last time, pressing the pace and getting a much better trip. The 1.25 mile distance is the big question. He has a bullet work for this. We know he loves the track. He's sharp. He should be stalking the pace, and then we'll see if he can handle this 1.25 mile distance. Maybe there's a point where he does lead. He tracks, he leads. Let's see if he can hold on this time. Number 6, Magic on Tap for trainer Bob Baffert. Now he's one that he did disappoint in his 2 starts in the handicap division. He did win the Grade 2 Triple Bend at 7 furlongs on May 29th at Santa Anita, but he was in the Californian when I mentioned Royal Ship won that one, and he was 4th by 23 that day. And then in the San Diego, he was also in that one, and he was 5th, beating almost 7 lengths. So against this kind of company, he just hasn't proven himself around 2 turns, and I don't want to play him in here. He does have a bullet work, and he's going to have to run the race of his life. The 7 Independence Hall, he's one that I've always liked, at least in 1-turn races, but when he stretches out, he struggles. He's won earlier in his career when he was running around 1 turn. He was dominating. He won the Nashua, the Jerome as a 2, and then his first start is at 3 in the Jerome. And then the Sam F. Davis, a Grade 3 Kentucky Derby points race, February of 2020. He stalked, he led, he was run down. He held second. Florida Derby, he was no threat. Then they turned him back. Optional Claiming Company at Del Mar. He rallied for a victory in a dirt sprint there. That was last fall. And then he ended his campaign as a 3-year-old in the Malibu, and he was 5th in a 6-horse field. The Pegasus World Cup at 1 1/8 miles, he stalked from an inner post, and he hung in there, and he was an even third that day. The Santa Anita Handicap, he stalked inside, got a nice trip, worked his way up to second, weakened to 4th, and then in the Californian, he was 3rd, beaten almost 10 lengths. So I think in these longer races, he's just not getting any better. Blinkers go on, and he will probably try to stalk the pace, but others have more stamina than him. At least that's the way it looks on paper. The 8 Sheriff Brown, he was no threat in the Grade 2 San Diego. He was shipping in from Lone Star. He was way back early. He did not make much of a late run. He's one that sits back and makes a late run. I don't think the pace is going to fall apart in here. There's some classy horses. I think they're going to hang in there, and I think Sheriff Brown's going to be outrun. And then number 9, Cupid's Claws. He ran well in the Cougar the second. He stalked, he made a run at Tizamagician, and then he ended up finishing a clear second. But that was 1.5 miles, and he's going to have to prove himself in these shorter races. He won the Tokyo City in 2020 by 7 lengths, and he beat Tizamagician that day. But in these races, at 1.25 miles against Grade 1 company, I don't know that he can compete. I do like Umberto Rispoli jumping aboard, but I think he's probably outclassed in here. So some horses that can definitely make a threat in this race. I think Express Train certainly, but the distance is the main question. Express Train is having a good year and he likes the track, And if he can overcome the 10 furlong distance, he could be a factor. Dr. Post, I'm just not quite sure what to do with him. He did run well last time out. I don't know that he wants to go a mile and a quarter, and we're going to see. He's losing Lasix, but I did say he did win the Westchester without Lasix. But I like that they put blinkers on, and he was much more focused last time out. Tizamagician, he certainly can steal this race. I think if he gets out there and controls the pace, he just might lull him to sleep and just keep on going. Tripoli needs to step up in a long distance race here. So I think Tizamagician, definitely dangerous on the front end. Dr. Post from Off the Pace, Express Train stalking the pace. They're all three solid contenders, but I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going with number 4, Royal Ship, as my top choice. As I was even watching the San Diego, I thought, boy, this is a perfect prep for this mile and a quarter race, because I knew that's what they were pointing for. Mandela knows that he has a horse that likes to run these long distance races. He just has that galloping tactical speed. And I think he's going to move forward nicely off of his San Diego, and this extra distance benefits him more. This mile and a quarter distance seems perfect for him as opposed to some of the other contenders in this race. So Royal Ship from a stalking position is going to be my top choice in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic at Del Mar on Saturday, August 21st. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Make some comments in the comment section. Who do you like in the 2021 Pacific Classic? Again, if you're interested in my full cards from Del Mar, head on over to the runawayhorse.com on the sales page. If you're interested in those free selections, check out the description in this video. I have links provided for those. And that will wrap up the videos this week. I'll be back next week to look at another stakes race from around the country, and I'm going to be looking at the Travers Stakes.